kid, park my car, get my bags, and put on some weight, will you? Hey, Wang, what's with the pictures? It's a parking lot. Come on, will you? I think this place is restricted, Wang, so don't tell me you're Jewish. Okay, fine. Hey, kid, I'm Al Chervik. I'm playing with Drew Scott today. This is my guest, Mr. Wang. No offense. Oh, I can maybe have a half dozen of those Vulcan D10s and set my friend up here with the whole schmear. You know, clubs, bags, shoes, gloves, shirt, pants. Hey, orange balls. I'll have a box of those. Give me a box of those naked lady tees, and give me 2 of those. Give me 6 of those. Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of Muskies on Tap. We got a full panel here lined up for episode number 116. We got a lot going on. We got in-house guests. We got a double guest on the screen. So we got a lot to look forward to in this podcast. So without further ado, I'm one of your hosts, Gus Manti. I'm going to introduce none other than my brother, Max. Max, how you doing?
Couldn't be better, man. Couldn't
I know
be
you got
better.
out fishing lately too. How'd that go?
Yeah, it's August. It's officially August.
Let's
Fishing
go.
was good. Got down, did a little fishing with my buddy, Mr. Ryan Becker. Was able to set the hook a few times and even managed to get one in the net. So, yeah,
Attaboy.
life's good. Life's good, man. We're off to a good start in August here, changing the tides from July. But yeah, I mean, got a lot of fishing ahead here. So, got a little plans in the works here for this weekend. And obviously, we got our Bender weekend coming up in a few weeks, and then Bemidji for the PMTT, and back to Eagle River for Labor Day. So we got back to back to back to back weekends and opportunities to get after these dumb things. But without further ado, unfortunately, we do not have our beautiful co-host, Mr. Brian Echo, on the line this evening. But I would argue we have quite the upgrade, much more knowledgeable, just all around more put together human. I know he's been up in the Northwoods hammering it. None other than Mr. Austin Wiggerman filling in for Brian tonight. Austin, how are we doing?
Oh God, I can't be much better. I mean, the compliments and the right out of the gates, that's tremendous. I'm already feeling way better than the day I just had on the water, going 0 for 4. So, yeah, I'm
Welcome to
glad I
Wisconsin,
came. Glad I'm
baby.
here. Good to be around the boys and just getting glazed by each other. It's heartwarming, and I big time appreciate it. And I'm not too upset that Brian ain't here. So
Yeah,
I'll
me
fill
neither,
the
man.
role, and I'll take responsibility for I'm sure giving him a little I don't know, jab on the old Gilmore situation. But we'll get to that. I'll let you keep doing the intro. You're the star tonight.
What?
I'm just feeling the love.
What's your thoughts on the boys' cabin? First time in Gus's dojo. Give us your initial thoughts.
I'll be honest, this is the most I've seen of it actually, that you've seen me walking around in the background before we started recording this. And the sleep was phenomenal. That AC unit pumped that thing cold, and I got a phenomenal 4 hours of sleep, which
Love to
was
hear that.
tremendous. But yeah, no, it's a vibe, honestly. We walked in last night and I was like, yes, like dartboards, we got hockey skates around, we got baits everywhere. I'm like, this is gonna be amazing. Can I move in?
A
Pretty
desk that
much.
has zero space on it.
Yeah,
virtually.
that's kind of the whole cabin itself, to be honest with you. But it's
Yeah.
fire. It's all the best stuff: musky baits and golf and net buddies and hats and you're on the desk too, technically. But
Yeah.
no, it's a fire vibe for sure. I haven't seen the lake situation in the backyard, but I can get a little bit of a glimpse of it. So that's just all around. Everything around here is pretty much a good vibe, and the deer are really friendly.
Yeah, no, they are. They'll eat right out of
Feed
the
'em.
palm of your hand if you
Yep.
let them. Well, cool. Uh, Gus, get us on deck here for uh, our two other guests on this evening.
For sure. Yeah. So we got some boys, some guys from Thorne Bros. We got Tucker Swanson and Jake Erickson. Guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Good. How about you, Gus?
Doing fantastic. Could look forward to a little more cooler weather, but is what it is. Getting on the water is still good. I heard that you guys were a little bit lately. Been getting out. How's that midsummer been going for you guys?
It's been a little tougher now, but we can actually fish in the metro still in Minnesota, which a lot of years we can't right now. So, but this hot weather coming up, it's kind of gonna start getting dangerous again, I think.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
Real quick, just for clarification. So, Tucker, I believe you're the assistant to the regional manager at Thorne Bros. And then
I,
Jake.
I run all of our social media and then the main line of contact for everybody that we sponsored, but you were pretty close.
Okay, I figured it was something in that realm. And Jake, you are not actually employed by Thorne Brothers, is that correct?
No, I'm employed by Thorne Brothers, but I work at Fish
Incorrect.
Electronics as
Okay, I was wrong.
rigging the
Okay,
boats.
gotcha.
Warner Brothers bought Fish Electronics,
Ah,
so it's kind of like a sister company.
gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, sweet. So, real quick, just as like a good soft intro here, take us through a day in the life, each one of you guys of working in the fishing industry. Kind of, I know you guys both do super different things. So, yeah, just kind of give us the rundown. Jake, let's start with you. I want to hear about what you got going on in the electronics world.
All right. Well, I guess every day it's just we're gonna start out the morning with about 100 phone calls from all people with everything they broke over the weekend.
Nice.
And we're gonna basically every day we're gonna have probably 5, 6 boats show up, do a little troubleshooting on stuff that's going on, maybe add a couple screens to a guy's boat, a live scope, a trolling motor, figure out what's going on with their batteries. We also do updates on screens, minor screen repair, trolling motor repair, shallow water anchors. So kind of
How would
all
you, okay, real quick question, and then I'll turn it over to Gus. But I wanted to ask you this when we were actually on the boat together. I should say these two guys have been hauling me around the metro as of late, and it's been a lot of fun. But uh, so what would you say like the average customer that comes in, like how much more out of their electronics do you think the average person can get? Like when they come to you guys and they're like, "Hey, I need to figure out how to work these things."
they're probably using 25% of what it is capable of. It's it's pretty scary. The people that don't know how to read side imaging, they don't know how to have their trolling motor talk to their screen, lithium batteries with a Bluetooth capability so you can check and see how full it is. I mean, there's a million things that's not being used in the average person's boat for sure.
Yeah.
And I know you love doing these, but when we went fishing with you the other night, you were gonna do an on the water
Yep.
like call. So fill the
Basically,
people in on what that is. Yeah.
it's basically a training. I'll hop in the boat with someone that if I rig their boat first, put a couple screens and a trolling motor on and whatnot, and then they can request an on the water training, and I'll hop in the boat with them for 2 hours and go from there. And basically, I can do everything I can to teach you how to use your units to the best of their abilities.
That's pretty sweet. That was literally my first question was like, do you offer some kind of class or
Yep.
anything like that? Is there anything off the water that you guys offer to
I
kind of
mean,
demonstrate, like on your YouTube or anything?
we've done some minor stuff on the YouTube. We can probably do a little more of it. It's just figuring out what everyone needs to learn, Instagram, we do a lot of short reels and whatnot on the new product. And if we get a lot of calls on something, we'll try to shoot a video real quick on, oh, hey, this is how you deploy your new Quest Altera or whatever off your remote kind of thing.
Gotcha. Because I mean, with where you guys are based out, I'm assuming Fish Electronics is it Blaine? Is that
Basically, playing Spring Lake Park.
okay? So, you probably get way more non-musky rigs, I assume, or is
Uh,
it kind
a,
of
a lot of walleyes, some bass, fair amount of musky guys. Not a
gotcha?
ton, but Definitely with Thorne Brothers owning the business, that helps get the name out, and a lot more musky guys are starting to show up.
Right. Yeah, when I visited Thorne Brothers for the first time this past spring for your spring sale and to pick up my buddy Clayton's rods, I
Mhm.
was, you know, well, first very impressed with the store, but you guys had way more multi-species stuff than I thought. I didn't even get
Oh,
a chance to go up to your, fly fishing on the
mhm.
upstairs, which I would have been pretty cool to see, but I kind of
Yeah.
had to get back 4.5 hour drive.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pretty incredible store. I was shocked the first time I walked in there how big it was, and bass, walleye, trout, muskie, you name it. You want to catch it, you can pretty much get it there.
Right on. So, Tucker, give us the rundown on kind of when you got together with Thorne Bros, where you started, kind of what you started doing for them, and then kind of what you're actually doing, now.
Yeah. So I actually started as part-time in the winters. I was working for Second Swing, a golf company, as a full-time job, and then in the winters it was like not really doing anything. My buddy was working at Thorne Brothers, and I liked the discount. So I would just work 1 or 2 days a week there in the winters, and then Kurt, the new owners, they were like kind of going through buying it when I started part time. Found out what I was doing for Second Swing and offered me a job. I was like, yeah, I could go for a change up. And we didn't really know what we were gonna do exactly. We were just kind of making it up as we went because they'd never had anybody for social media. They had Jesse Baker doing it for a few months prior, or for like a year prior to us, but they wanted somebody, or to me, but they wanted somebody in the store just to be able to be there all the time. So just kind of made it up with Kurt on what I was doing, running pro staff. So started the pro staff program right away when I got there, and then started doing all the social media stuff for, well, now Thorne Bros Fly Fishing, Thorne Bros, and now Fish Electronics as well.
And what's the time frame on this? Like how many years ago was this about?
3 or 4. I've tried to remember this like recently, and I can't really pin it down when I switched over,
Oh, I
or
mean
when
that
I,
that's all right.
yeah,
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
Or for
Okay.
was the there,
that's my guess.
was
Time
was the
flies when you're having
social
fun.
right? Was the social media aspect something you just picked up on, or did you have like when you were asked to do that, did you volunteer or did they
That was
ask?
what he kind of wanted me to do. So
Okay.
I went to school for mass communications, and it's a broad degree that you can kind of do anything with. And then that was just something that his idea was that, and we're like just kind of made it up as we went. He just really wanted somebody who knew fishing is like was important for him to be behind it as well, and kind of know Thorne Brothers a little bit, not just have somebody random.
Right.
So wanted somebody more in the fishing world already.
So something kind of cool that I know you've done this year, and I'm sure you've done it in years past, and maybe I just wasn't as in tune with it, but you were kind of the cameraman for a couple of the new Thorne Bros YouTube videos that they've dropped recently
Yep.
up on Lake Vermilion. I kind of got to ask, I mean, I'm sure it's awesome getting to like run around the lake with Luke Rondestrand, but as a musky nut, like you got to just be going absolutely insane watching these guys just huck all day, and you're,
Yeah, no,
sitting there
and
with the
it's like
camera.
the main thing that gets me sometimes is like I go on these filming trips with Luke, and I know Austin knows Luke and how he fishes, and then I come home from work and fishing Luke style, but filming and not fishing. Then I want to go fishing, and I'm dead tired because he gets to stay up there, so he makes us stay out till midnight, and then drive home, get home at 3 in the morning, and then I want to go out for the weekend, and I'm dead tired. But yeah, it's I've always tried to keep it kind of like no gray area. So like when I'm filming, I'm filming. When I'm fishing, I'm fishing. Is
Seems
kind
like
of the
probably a
route I've
smart
gone with.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm guessing you could probably blur those lines pretty quickly if you started
Oh
picking
yeah.
up a rod like, oh, let me just cast in this spot. Next thing you know, you're missing all the footage, and you come back and you got to tell your boss like, yeah, we didn't get anything this
Yeah.
weekend.
Caught a bunch of fish, but like one's on film.
Yeah. The GoPro was dead. We didn't get anything. Nothing's there.
Um, so what's it like working in for both you guys? Like, what's it like working in a fishing shop with just a bunch of other fishy dudes? Like, is it tough to like take off of work during good moon phases? Like what's kind of like some weird things working in a fishing shop?
I can
I'm gonna
definitely.
answer that by saying empty bank account would probably be my answer, but I don't work in a fishing shop and I still have an empty bank account, so I'm not really quite sure how that would work.
It can for sure be really, really tough to like take off good fishing times.
Yeah.
For me, biggest boat rigging time is early spring, and like when we want to go smallmouth fishing before musky season starts, and it's like, oh, we can take a day off here or there. It's like I got 5 boats to work on that day, which can make it really tough, but you get to have a lot of really cool conversations with your coworkers and whatnot, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Mine's a little different. I have a little bit more flexibility, can work a little bit more remote, but the winters are honestly the time that I can't take off as much, and that's totally fine with me.
Sure.
Jake will work a lot of shows, I'll work a lot of shows traveling in the winter, but just so happens Fish Electronics busy time for Jake being a boat rigger is April, May, June, July. Like right at the start of musky season and fishing season. So
Right.
I like my November trips.
Yeah, I'd imagine things really quiet down towards the end of like the actual open water season.
Yeah,
we're kind of getting into that
Shocks.
time for both of us right
Yeah.
now in the summer stuff.
Makes it easy to go to Canada for a week in August and go to Vermilion up in the middle of the winter or middle of the fall. But then,
I mean, are you guys just shooting the shit about fishing all day, or is it like you're surrounded by it, so you're kind of sick of talking about it and you mess around with other stuff, or what's I guess
I
like
mean,
the dialogue when it gets slow?
you got your random life conversations, but if there's a Lake Master map sitting in front of us, we tend to do a bit of talking.
I was gonna say life. I think life for all of us right here is just fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's hard to shut that off, like
Yeah, it's like, oh,
there's
where'd you fish last night? And you're just showing guys on a
yeah,
map
just
some boat.
it's so
There's
much fun.
definitely not many conversations that I have with Kurt that don't end with like a 20-minute conversation about muskies.
Yeah, I was still, Gus, I'm still cracking up about what you told me that you went out with a couple of those bartenders in town a week or two ago or whatever. You're like, yeah, I just had to not talk about musky fishing for like 3 hours, and I
Oh yeah.
literally didn't know what to say.
I didn't know how to socialize, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't do this like again. I think I'm gonna do my typical routine of fish, go to bed, wake up, and hook the boat up and fish. So, and shut off by watching mindless YouTube videos that have nothing to do with fishing. And fall asleep on the couch, wake up at 3, set an alarm for 5, and get up.
Oh God,
Oh,
good stuff.
good stuff.
So, you guys have been Tucker and Jake, you guys have been traveling around quite a bit this summer. Maybe fill us in on a few of the highlights from some of your guys' trips and where you guys have all gone so far this year.
Want to start us off?
Sure. Well, this spring was really good. I personally didn't get to do much traveling. I had a couple weddings and whatnot, and got to see some cool fish on Sundays after the wedding and whatnot on the way home. But we fished the Metro a ton. That was incredible this year. As far as of recent, couple little lakes up near Brainerd have been pretty decent. We got a 45 incher the other day. That was pretty cool. On a
Hey.
bucktail, a little tinkertail bucktail. And then we actually got to sleep right next to each other in the back seat of a pickup truck this past weekend up on Vermilion.
Cozy.
Totally
was-
cool. Nothing to see here.
Exactly.
Very normal.
It's normal that the windows are fogged.
You guys work close, but you sleep even closer.
Amen.
Oh,
But
Christ.
Vermilion was fun. We got to see some fish. We didn't end up catching any, but it was still a really good time. Got to learn a really cool body of water a little bit more. So
And I've been able to travel a little bit more this year, so we film opener every year. And so I was up on Vermilion for that filming, but Sarah and I, my girlfriend and I end up we've made it kind of a tradition now that, so I film opener and then a come back, edit a video, get it up right away, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the next weekend, I end up going up north to Bemidji, camping and fishing for 4 days and doing some of the open water, just bomb casting in the abyss. And that's about enough of that for me for the year. Like I enjoy that trip greatly, but 4 days is enough and fish around structure back home. But we ended up, I think we went 4 for 6 in 4 days, not fishing very hard. We didn't get any real big ones this year. We got like the biggest 44.5 incher that I've ever caught. But
That thing looked all of 49 when you sent me that picture.
yeah. Jake was actually on the phone with me when that one bit and got to hear the whole thing. And I got in the net. I'm like, Jake, like I might have a 4-footer. Wrong. As I put it on the bump board, I'm like, Jake, I messed up. I messed up. I sound real bad right now.
It's always those early season ones that catch you by surprise because you haven't seen many fish yet.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I feel like that's always easy to I mean, hey man, Gus knows I'm guilty of it. I even had one on Saturday. I felt a little bit vindicated by Becker when I was fishing with them, but I had one eat a bucktail like straight vertical. It was such a cool eat, and like a quarter of the fish came out of the water. It was this really big headed, thick fish, and like as I'm fighting it, we're both like, "Oh, that's a real one. That's a real one." And then it's like kind of dogging me. We get into the net and we both just kind of start laughing. We're like, okay, that's not that big at all. It's like a 39, maybe 40 incher. But it's really dark. It's like, where we were fishing, it was really, really stained water. So, you can't really tell. We just saw the initial, and the gills flare and it came up vertical on it. So it obviously looked bigger, but hey, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So
Then after that Bemidji area trip, we had a fun run Jake was talking about. He didn't mention that he ended up getting a 50 incher on the Metro here on Tonka on the figure eight on a 1099. Right here, actually. This same one, same color. I gave him the bait. He got it. He caught it on my bait in my boat. So
you guys were all over fish in the Metro to start the year. I mean, do you
Yep.
like? Can you attribute anything to that, or just the fact that you guys are you just spending more time there?
It took us like we struggled.
Oh.
They were not doing the stuff that we usually see them doing right away. Like I think I was talking to you about that a little bit in the boat. But we usually do really well, like just fishing like how honestly we should be fishing right now. Just that deep, deep weed edge. A lot of people end up fishing shallow and in the weeds and in the mix or whatever, but we've done really well just having that cast and a half off the break line. And it was not going for us. And we were struggling and struggling and struggling. One night we started fishing some more like channely areas and
Boat current.
yeah, like big wake boats going through, just kicking everything up, and saw a couple on the first spot we tried that at, and then saw like 4 and caught one on the next spot we tried like that. And then it just kind of stuck like that all the way into July. We were able to just kind of keep doing that.
Pretty much until the water got too hot, they were just right
Yeah.
there.
I mean, I'll say this. So like when I've always thought Tonka is a really cool lake, even though some people, I've said this a million times in the podcast. I really think Tonka is a cool lake because it offers so much variability. And like for a great example is the first time I hopped in the boat with you guys. I mean, I think one of the first or second spots we hit, I was kind of like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, this seems so weird. I didn't say it out loud.
I remember
obviously.
talking to you after the first spot. I'm like, I know I'm running my boat weird, Max. This is not how I usually do it. This is just what's been working. We're fishing the spots weirder too.
Yeah. No, you were definitely doing something different. Like, I would have never ever put a boat in whatever that second spot was. Like, I never would have put a boat in that spot casting where you guys were. And then lo and behold, instantly started moving fish. And I was like, holy shit, like this is pretty cool. And that's why I kind of like have this draw to Tonka, because it's like you can just do a bunch of random shit and there's a lot of fish in there. And I do feel like a lot of people fish it kind of like you were saying, the same, and you start doing some different stuff and playing around with some things, and you can kind of figure out some cool bites. So that was awesome that you guys figured some stuff out, because yeah, it sounded like you guys just lit them up there for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And that lake fish is huge. it's a big lake, but it fishes even bigger.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, potentially one spot, depending on where it is, could take you, upwards of 2 hours, hour and a half to fish it in its
Yeah.
entirety. Um, so no, totally. So yeah, sorry, I kind of cut you off there. You were saying that you were doing this Canada trip, and how did that go?
Oh yeah. So after the 4th of July, my girlfriend lives or was from Badette. So we do 4th of July there and then we cross the 5th. Fish for 2.5 days with some other friends, and we got 6 on that trip, 48 incher being the biggest. And that was where it started a little bit before, but I have never caught a spinnerbait fish until this year. I've just always thrown bucktails, and on that trip we caught 4, and now I've caught 8. We've got 8 fish in my boat on spinnerbaits, and I'd never caught a spinnerbait fish before this year, which was absolutely
deadly.
wild.
Yeah, Gus.
They are.
Are they
Austin, you
yeah,
got anything to say about that, Gus?
I know they're deadly. One thing I was gonna ask is, are you mainly using spinner baits with only single hooks, or do you have some treble hooks on them?
I've only been using the ones with single hooks. I plan to throw the mini hurricane more around Tonka now, especially they like those big profile grindy baits.
Mhm.
Like the 1099 right here is like our best bait on Tonka now for however long. Brad was a funny guy after I ordered a couple of these from him, and he has them split ringed upside down, so I have to switch it back. So it looks kind of dumb right now, and I haven't switched this
I was
one
gonna
back.
say, what's going on there?
Oh, Brad thought he was really funny and sent me 4 1099s upside down.
Oh my
But,
God.
but that's been an absolute killer on Tonka. Those like grindy, weird, big profile baits are always good out there.
I caught a rock bass on a mini hurricane the other night.
They do work.
If that adds any value to this conversation.
I enjoyed it. I've never
Yeah.
done that. Not
No,
many
it
people.
was he
Plenty of
crushed it,
people have caught
definitely.
muskies on them.
No, I've been pretty much the multi-species guide of the century the last few days. So if anybody wants to look for trips for brock bass, walleye, smallmouth, catfish, you name it, I'm pretty much your guy. We're just going to be using musky baits, by the way.
So are you not a spinnerbait guy, Austin?
No, I am. I mean,
You are.
do I have? There's 3 sitting on the front deck right now, but I also
Okay.
have
I just saw a
100
weird
baits
look
on the
from
front.
Gus
No,
when we started talking about spinnerbaits.
Well,
Gus loves spinner baits.
yeah, I definitely like them. I think for me, like I'm definitely more of a classic deeper water fisherman. Not like, and I hate that when I say that, the first thing that comes to mind is people expecting that I'm just sniping fish, which I don't even own it. So whether that's of value or not, but no, there's this spinnerbait that I got put onto from my buddy Corbin who went to Rowan, and they have this spinnerbait, and I have no idea who makes it or if it's just like a small batch run called like the Stump Hog or Stump Buster or something. And it's like it's an incredibly tiny little hair spinnerbait, but it has a paddle tail that comes off of a treble hook that gets then attached to a big single hook, and it's like it's the most grindy little freaking beautiful looking spinnerbait ever. And I randomly found 2 on Marketplace like the year after we went to Rowan in 2015. And I bought them immediately, and those have been crushing. But the things are toast, and I have no idea who makes them or where to find them. But I think they're called the Stump Hog.
stump hog.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
new
if
to
anybody's heard of
spinnerbaits.
those.
I do want to find that one now.
Yeah.
Well, when Google, yeah, Google AI is going to see Stump Hog Googled a few times this coming week. I have a feeling, but no, they're amazing. Honestly, like they feel phenomenal, and I love a paddle tail at the back of a spinnerbait just simply because obviously a bucktail, the vortex of the blades makes the skirt do so much. So without blades in front of the skirting on a spinnerbait, I feel like the paddle tail just adds a ton of life to it. Um,
Makes sense.
but yeah, I mean, before that, my best spinnerbait was always the big tooth tackle, whatever they called that thing. It had like the most solid, yeah, whatever the giant hooked single. Well, it had two big single hooks, but those were solid as shit. I was the most confident in single hooks I've ever been.
Yeah.
And also another thing with spinner baits that everybody talks about is losing them. And I think on muskies that we've for sure seen hooked by spinner baits this year, we're 8 for 8. We haven't lost one.
Uh-oh. Knock
I
on wood.
don't have that. I knock on wood.
Yeah. Whoa,
But I
whoa,
don't
whoa.
have that story that everybody has when they're like everybody likes spinner baits and they get bit. But I have the story that made them stop throwing spinner baits.
Yeah, I got one for
Did
you.
you guys sharpen your spinner baits? Because I feel like everybody that I know that has spinner baits don't sharpen them for some reason. They just throw them.
I do, especially like the CJ's one. That's what
Yeah.
I've gotten 4 of the muskies that I've caught on them. Like it's such a big saltwater hook, you like almost have to sharpen it. It's so it has so much
Sure.
girth to it.
Hey. Yeah, you definitely need to sharpen that down then. No, we got to take that girth away.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with you. I feel like I can't even recall of many stories even over the years of losing fish on spinner baits. Even like way back when I first started on like the Booker like slop masters and stuff, which is kind of odd to think about because I can tell you the
tiny
baits
hooks.
the last 2 days had a lot of treble hooks on them and we didn't catch a single one.
Sometimes all you need is the one.
Yeah. Well, I need to add a single hook on these baits, I think.
I do think it is important with spinner baits. Like it seems like everyone we've hooked, it's like set the hook down to the right and you just reel. Like you don't move, doesn't matter what the fish does, you keep everything going that same direction the whole time.
Yeah.
I think that's important with everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree there.
Yeah, the change of direction or just like I don't care how good or bad of a hook set it was, the pressure aspect of just like keeping things in the same direction and like if the fish turns and you still have it on, you're totally gonna be good. But keep with the hook set regardless of how good or bad it is. I feel like that was money for at least for me. That's basically what I say to everybody in my boat. If they come in and they've never musky fished, if you set the hook, go to the side or down slightly as hard as you can and just keep reeling and drag it right in.
That's for sure.
No, that is very. What was that? Oh, I had a giant Big O's, a 5-ouncer. We haven't thrown this one yet. It's ginormous. Feel how heavy it is.
Where's the weight at even?
It's just
I was
heavy.
gonna
It's
say
not
the head
super
didn't look
big.
that big.
No.
Yeah, oh, there's a catfish egg sinker in here. There's
Yeah.
a catfish egg sinker in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there she is. The big old 3-ouncer hidden right behind.
Fiver.
Oh, huh?
Oh yeah.
No, that says 5. You're right.
It's just huge.
Hey, I get my 3 and 5 mixed up all the time.
Yeah. Oh man.
Gus, you want to fire up and on the line?
Sure. Let's do 2 back to back.
All right, let's introduce Tucker and Jake here to the on the lines with a one from none other than our boy Aaron.
And Aaron. You guys ready on it?
Yes,
Tucker
Ready.
and Jake?
Yep.
Sweet. All right. First one up from Aaron Priest.
Where will this take us?
Hey boys, yeah, no musky fishing here. The river's like 150, 155 fucking degrees. I don't know if you guys have flathead catfish in Wisconsin or wherever the hell it is that you live, Max. But this shit it's the tits. There's no other way to say it. It is fun as hell. And I caught that nasty abomination last night in the river. And my God, was it fun. I mean, flathead, it's like the second best head ever. You know what I'm saying? Fellatio being number 1, obviously. All right, well, if you guys have a chance, go do this shit. It's amazing.
That's a great question, Aaron.
Yeah. Is there a question in there?
No,
Other than have you catfished or do you have
I think
Cat-
it's I think he's just letting us know we gotta go. We gotta go for catfishing. It sounds like. Oh
I've
God,
never
that's
been
funny as fuck.
catfishing. I feel like that's probably not a bad thing to do when the water gets a little toasty, especially if you're in like southern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois.
Man, we used to in high school all the
You
time.
did?
Hell yeah, we do it off of Yazzie Dock, and then also in
Oh
the
yeah.
Menasha. We go to the Menasha
National
fucking
channel of the
paper
Fox?
mill swamp
Oh yeah.
area, and we would fish at night with just big old like I don't even know what the rig, how we even made the rig. We probably just Jimmy rigged it because we didn't know what
Chicken
the hell we
breast
were
with
doing. But
Kool-Aid?
no, we would literally buy like 6 containers of worms, and then there was just like a bunch of split ring sinkers, like all tied together that would keep it on the bottom, and then like a weightless hook. And we would just
That's
wait for
wild.
the rod. We would just set the rods in the rocks and wait for them to go.
Was it pretty consistent? Did you catch like a decent amount?
Yeah, I mean, I could go back. I probably have pictures of like on my Facebook or something from 2010, 2009. We were doing this shit. But yeah, that was fun. I haven't caught a catfish yet in probably, what is it, 2025? So yeah, probably 15, 16 years.
Oh yeah.
I don't
I
know.
guess we're missing out. Aaron's kind of letting us know. You guys, Duggar, Jake?
No,
Never
no, I
caught a
don't know if
cat.
I've ever caught one.
I can hook you up.
I know Tucker caught a big carp this year.
A huge one.
Yeah.
On a hair jig.
Caught? Like caught, or was it snagged while musky fishing, or what?
No, snagged it with a hair jig, smallmouth fishing on Tonka.
Oh, jeez. That's
It was epic.
Yeah.
do you random side question at Thorne Bros, since you got the whole fly section, do you got guys coming in about flies for carp, like fly fishing for them?
I haven't heard much about it, but I do know people actually fly fish for them, and carp will eat those in the mouth. But
Yeah.
you don't have to snag them like me. But no, I don't know of many people that have been in the fly shop doing that. But I'm also not over there that much answering the questions. So
Gotcha. Yeah, because
Also, the fly shop is incredible for like if you like tying and tinkering, anything
yeah.
that you want, you can find in there.
a
It's
lot
insane.
of smallmouth fishermen find their way up there, and then some musky
Nice.
fishermen do as well.
yeah, because you got world-class smallmouth fishing in the rivers like close to Minneapolis, basically. And I went for the not yeah, first time kind of floating down the river and fly fishing for smallmouth this spring, with my buddy Luke, and holy shit, did I have a blast! Like just hooking into those things on the fly rod was awesome. And I was asking about carp because I always heard about that for trout fishermen when the water got too warm for those little things, that people would fly fish for carp, and they said it was like the best fight ever. Worst fish for photos, but like for the fight wise, it's just insane.
They are hard to hold as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking at yours right now. Uh, wait, where did it go? You sent me the picture of yours. Beautiful sunset in the background,
Oh, yeah.
Tucker.
Jake and I were talking about that.
Just a lovely picture, and then it's just this fucking ugly ass hog of a carp.
That's what I mean. It's not very photo friendly.
I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna
Huge
send it to
LinkedIn
Gus right
photo.
now, just so he can see it.
Okay. Should I get another one lined up? I think we got a more I think this one's asking about setups and
Well,
like
while you're lining that up, though, I caught a carp on a rattle trap last year that I definitely thought was a 40 pounder. Oh, that's a beautiful sunset with a carp. Oh my God. You gotta hold it like the people from overseas do, where you sit cross-legged and you like kind of hold it like a baby in your arms.
That's
Like
what I was
like it's
missing.
really like a
That's what I was missing.
it's like you're so attached to the carp and want to love every second of it. They like hold it like a stack of potatoes, dude. It's so funny.
Oh my
That's a good
God.
picture. That's prime.
That's awesome. All right, we got This question here, or this on the line, sent in by Pete. So let's let this one rip.
Hey guys, Pete from Sugar Camp checking in. Long-time listener, first time on the Mott line. I'm going to throw a couple topics your way and then we'll go from there. Let's get things started with a gear rundown. I'd like to hear what you guys are using for equipment these days. I'm using a 9-foot assault stick SWAT version paired with the Daiwa ProRex reel, using the 80-pound fins braid, the blue color, and I've got a Pandemonium Tackle 7-inch leader at the end of that. Second, up here in the Vilas, Oneida County region, we're blessed with way too many lakes to choose from, and one of the hardest things I come across is deciding on where I'm going to go for the day or the night. Just wondering if you have any advice on lake selection. That's all I got. Out.
Oh, love it. Thanks for the call.
Sweet.
I'll let you boys handle this one.
I'll quick start it off, and then Tucker and Jake take it away. For just gear rundown first, we'll talk about the lake selection kinda, and you guys can kind of talk about that too with Metro and northern Minnesota and where you guys kind of fish and what you're kind of looking for before you go out in the day. But for gear rundown, I got St. Croix rods for reels. Have just about any reel manufacturer under the sun. I think today somebody was pointing out I had like 3 ready and lined up. They're like, "You have 3 different reels." I'm like, "Yeah, I just keep trying new stuff." I don't know. I don't really have. I have favorites. Like if I had to pick one, I would just use the 500 Tranks high gear every day for just about everything. It would suck for small stuff, but it gets the job done. Line, I've been using 100-pound or 80-pound fins XS, blue or white. I've been liking those colors. I used to use all green all the time, and actually now realizing that muskies probably don't even care too much about your line color. The line, being able to see the blue or see the white kind of helps see bites, especially with like pole pause rubber. And then I think he said leaders. Leaders pretty much on a full make them myself program with just AFW single strand wire, anywhere between 174 pound and some low 200-pound range, ball bearing swivel, and a solid split ring or solid ring to split ring system. And that's what I'm rocking.
Jake, you want to go next?
Sure. So I strictly run Thorne Brothers rods. For bucktails and the smaller stuff, sometimes I'll go to like a 10-foot stealth heavy. Or if I'm gonna be like a 9 or bigger, I'll go to a stealth extra heavy. Pull pause, I'll move over to a Predator, usually be a 10-foot extra heavy, 10-foot double extra heavy, depending on the time of year. And then top waters, I'm going to be throwing a 10-foot heavy stealth. Most of my rods have Tranks 400s on it. I do have one Daiwa T-Wing 400, and then Tranks 500s also on the double extra heavy stuff. So pull pods, I'll go a solid welded ring to a 49 strand leader. And then just like Gus, I'm making my own for bucktails of the solid strand welded wire or welded ring leaders.
And I'm fairly similar to Jake. I'm like you, Gus. I have all the branded reels imaginable, just trying things out. Tranks 500 is pretty much all the big pull pause stuff. I'll throw on that just because it's going to hold up better. And all my pull pause stuff, the big rubber stuff, is on a Predator extra heavy. And then if I get to like Monster, Medusa, and up, like fishing in the fall, I'll do the Predator double extra heavy. And then bucktails, I'll throw a stealth extra heavy pretty much all the time. I don't really like the lighter rods for bucktails, just for figure 8 purposes. And then also, if you ever have a 7/0 on a bucktail, I hate having a heavy rod. And then for top waters, I'll end up using a stealth heavy or predator heavy. It doesn't, I don't really have a preference between the two for top waters, but and then I'll have
Nice.
actually some smaller reels that I've been playing with more for Sarah's purpose for being able to palm them easier. And the Lexa T-Wing 300 has been super awesome on those heavy rods. And then
Nice. What gear ratio do you use for that, and what has she been kind of throwing with it?
so I believe it's 7-3 to 1, just kind of a good in the middle thing, a little bit more towards the high speed, and she'll throw everything on that. Her little tiny Orbas, she likes to throw that, and then spinner baits, even 1099s, because I know a lot of people actually really like heavy, like more the heavy style rod for bucktails. And if you slow roll them and point your rod at it, it doesn't really matter. And she's not exactly ripping around in the 8. You also get a lot more forgiveness on the hook set on having that rod loaded. You don't have to reel as fast. I'm a little bit more used to having a stiffer rod, so I can everybody who musky fishes a little bit more can kind of get on the fish a little bit better. So you have a little less forgiveness isn't the worst thing sometimes, but having a little bit more moderate action, lighter rod does help a lot of people that haven't fought that many muskies too, just to keep that rod loaded specifically.
That's
That
actually a
makes
pretty
sense.
good point, and something that I probably don't even realize I do. Just having people throwing a lot of heavies, no matter what they're throwing, unless I got them throwing, something in the larger tube deuce dog category or some sort of pull pause that needs the extra heavy. Um, and then one thing I was going to ask you, Jake, when you're saying you mostly have Tranks 400s,
Yep.
so I know you guys in Minnesota throw really big blades, but also small blades. Are you using the high speed or the low speed
Pretty
for
much
your blades?
only the high gear.
Only the
And
high gear
it's
with the power handle and everything?
Yep, and it's strictly because when I was early on in musky fishing, our good buddy Stuart was guiding basically, and I lost a fish on a low gear because he said I wasn't reeling fast enough, and I
Hmm.
just couldn't keep up with the fish. And like Kurt always says, if you hook one shallow, it's gonna swim deep, and you got to keep up with it the whole time. And I think that line pickup's a huge thing.
You got them damn Popeye aren't forearms now. Hey Gus,
Sweet.
am I allowed to say what my setup is right now?
Yeah, go for it.
All
It's
right,
pretty.
I'm rocking that one 10'6" extra heavy paired with the Tranks 500 high gear, and then I got a 10'6" heavy paired with the Tranks 500 PG. Those are the two absolute piss missiles that I've been rocking all summer. Um, I would say it's absolute overkill, but honestly, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's been great. 10'6" is a little awkward when you are fishing 3 deep in the boat.
Kind of
But
signal you get with them.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It's like weird now that I've gotten used to throwing the 10'6". It's just like you go down to like an 8.6 or something. And it feels like you got a little kid rod in your hand or something like
Yeah.
that. So, but no, it's been good. Honestly, I've been throwing the anything below like a 910 Huntsy or like you know, really any of like your bigger profile bucktails. I've been moving over to the high gear, extra heavy, and just throwing that. That thing's kind of become like the ultimate rod. I honestly have found myself not using the PG 10'6" heavy. I haven't been using it as much. Been just kind of throwing almost everything on the high gear lately.
Yeah.
So
I still don't throw that PG all that much. And what I'm looking to do, and I'm gonna rearrange some rod setups here in the next week or two, and probably what I'll do is keep a one high gear 500 fully spooled up for just only pull pause, and then I'm gonna keep the other 500 high gear slightly less spooled up. Still can be used for pull pause just fine, but it'll be like perfect for blades on probably
yeah,
an extra
I've
heavy rod.
noticed that like when you're trying to kind of burn them in a little bit faster towards the end of the day, I've found myself actually strapping on bigger blades that PG just because like it does like I don't have the forearms like Jake does. Eventually I just kind of wear out and I had to get a little something a little easier to slow roll in. But it's been good. Austin, what are you working with these days? What are you rocking?
I'm kind of along the same lines with Gus on the reel situation. I got a smorgasbord of mostly
It's a good
tranked,
word.
honestly, nowadays. Yeah, that is. I could don't ask me to spell it though, but
Brian's
that's
not
fine.
saying that word, that's for sure. That's why we tapped you
No,
tonight.
no. See, that's we're just adding points to the freaking list today. I'm bringing
Yeah.
value. Smorgasbord is what I brought for the best value today.
Adding value. Love
Uh, I can barely say it if I start thinking about it, but
it. Try some tongue.
yeah, but reels I got mostly tranks. For night stuff, I do still have the old Calcutta B. That is super nice and I know, like, speaking of Brad and slow rolling after dark and Carrie, those two just go like lit, like it's not physically possible. I don't
It's
understand how they do
incredible.
it, and I don't even like it because I can't figure out what if my bait's doing what I want it to do. So
Like that
so
slow.
I can't go that slow, but like I do. It does help me to just have a slower gear ratio reel, and then I got a few of the PC funds to uh, you know, add in. But I'm all St. Croix rods as well, so I'm rocking the old whatever the smorgasbord of rods I've got as well. Look at that old dog! Holy cow!
That's my first musky reel right here.
Mine was the
Let me
Shimano
get this
Thorne
closer. That
Bros.
might be my first musky
I
reel
think
as
that is.
well.
The Abu 5600 C4,
Oh yeah, lots of
blue and gold.
C4s.
Yep, that is mine.
4.9 to 1 gear ratio, I think.
Yep.
That'll burn
I
you in a
caught a
cowgirl.
Yeah, my first rubber fish was using this with an
Oh my God.
8 foot, no, maybe a 7.6 heavy compre, this reel, mid deuce. There's probably a reason I caught that fish in the fall. I thought I was working it fast and probably wasn't working it that fast.
Keep
It
that
was
thing
like
close to the
perfect.
bottom.
Man,
Yeah.
I'll never forget like how under equipped we were that first time you ever were working. I think it was either probably our first reg
Reg
deucer we
deuce.
got, and you
Yeah.
Oh
just
my
snapped
God.
your rod on one of the rips.
Yeah. And then you brought back a bulldog and you brought back an alpha mag dog,
Yeah,
I think. And we're like, Jesus, this thing is giant.
yeah, we really did not know
Throwing
what
that
we were
thing on
getting
seven
ourselves
six
into.
heavies.
That
That's like to bring this whole thing full circle. My first open water fishing experience was on Lake Vermilion, and it was partially due to Lake Luke, and like
Yep.
we're staying at VDL, and we've been just it's like the week or second week after opener, and we've been just pounding shallow bays, just seeing giant fish, and like a group of young kids from Illinois is like, we're not gonna leave them. Like there's a ton of like 45 to 50 inchers chasing our little glide baits that we won't catch. And then he's like, you should really go out there. And we're like, well, we don't have any giant baits that you're using. So we went in the old, uh, kind of open to the public bar area where there's just a ton of musky baits hanging at VDL. And
Mhm.
Ed and Luke just grabbed down a handful of baits and handed to us. And next morning, we're all with our 7.6 and 8.6 heavies and medium heavies, hucking these double dog pounders and husky medusas and three of the four of us by 11 a.m. had freaking PBs and we had no idea what we were doing or like, and I'm like, how did we keep
That's
fish
awesome.
pinned? We didn't have hook sharpeners. We just grabbed these baits from literally the freaking ceiling of VDL. I'm, I don't, yeah,
Didn't
it
even
makes
check if they
me,
had hooks.
no, yeah, I literally have no idea if they even had hooks, but we were landing in Fish's Mouth in the middle of nowhere and we were like, this is unbelievable. We need to do this again. But like, I don't think that we were very equipped.
Wow.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's crazy when you start in the game how far you kind of progress just after a couple years of doing it, you know. Somebody's like, "Hey, you should probably not throw this bait on that rod." And you're like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then work
That's
like
how
I
I've always
remember,
done it though.
yeah, I know. I remember the first time I think I ever fished a Tranks 500 with like big blades, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is like really easy. Like this is how it could be if I just bought one of these." So, oh man. All right. Gus, you got another on the line for us, or you want to just chop it up about something else?
No, I got one here that could segue into some bait talk.
Did
If
that
we're
guy
up
have
for
something
that.
about lakes in the last one?
Oh, good call. Way to keep us on the line.
Trying to keep you honest.
Wow.
All
Yeah,
right,
lake
we
selection. Good
almost
call.
We almost,
That's an added point. See, Brian wouldn't have done that.
yeah.
No, Tucker, thank God you're here tonight, not Brian, because he would have not reminded us
He
of
would have been
that.
he probably would have been gaming already or something.
We could have left Pete absolutely out to dry, just not answering probably the most important question of his question.
Lake choices, man. Well, I find that one to be a slightly more difficult in the beginning of the year because I feel like once I get on a bite on a lake early in the year, it can go cold way faster. Mostly because the weather is a little bit more variable and the seasonality is changing a lot. Right now, we're at peak summer. Everything's pretty much established. If it's got a thermocline, it's got a thermocline. Most of these small lakes don't really get one. All their weed growth has been maximized for a while and it's pretty much stayed the same for a while. So pretty much you either get a milk run that you have caught fish on in the middle of summer. Just go look back at your old photos and be like, "Oh, I caught a fish on August 5th of this year on bluebird conditions, kind of like today. We had a little bit of a haze and we were throwing blades and rubber. I should go back there." And that's kind of like a starting point that I kind of go based off of. But now that it's midsummer, it's like if you got a lake that's hot, ride it until it's dead, and then kind of just bounce to the next one. We got the beauty of the Northwoods is having almost too many lakes at our disposal to hit from 30-foot clarity to 6 inches of clarity in water, basins of 9 feet all the way to basins of 100 plus. And that makes it difficult. It also boils down to what you want to chase. I mean, with myself out there guiding all the time, mostly daytime uh, periods and a lot of sunny days as of late, I'm pretty much spending a ton of time on, more stained water or something a little bit more forgiving, especially with probably 90% of the clients I get are typically looking for a bite or two. They're not looking for the bite or two of the season. They're looking for a bite or two, or either they just want action. So, action legs, good stocking, typically dirtier water, depending on if it's really juicy. I mean, there's a few times I will go, shell out and chuck, deep bars, clear water. But on a day-to-day basis, I'm using a mixture of weather, prior notes. I can't stress that enough on how much starting an Excel spreadsheet, 5 or 4 years ago or whatever it was, has helped me on dialing in some of these lakes where like all of a sudden I'll be like, I should go to this lake. Maybe I haven't been there in a while. And then I look back on my notes. I'm like, oh wait, no, it sucked this time of year, this temperature. Like I should probably hold off. And then I hold off until like a cold snap in August. And then boom, the fish are on fire. And some lakes just need that. And because the one bummer part about the Northwoods is so many lakes can be cold and ice cold to the point where you might not even move a fish. So, if you're not even side imaging them or raising a fish and you have a full day ahead of you, I mean, give that like 2 to 3 hours maximum, probably 3 hours maximum as a safe bet. So, those are some general rules of thumb. I got not really rules, just guidelines kind of that I'm going by each and every day. So,
I couldn't agree more with the
yeah,
whole Excel sheet. I mean,
yeah,
when I started, which was 2014 musky fishing, it like we did it as I don't know, like a winter thing, like put all your day's notes in and go back and look at the weather and the pressure, and we had like an insane amount of like categories that we kept track of, and over the years it's kind of refined into more simplistic things, more like just weather notes or like the extras of yeah, you might have caught a 36, but what else happened on that day, type of situation. I think you go into more detail even of just like you have the options which you just mentioned in the Northwoods of
yeah,
so many lakes to fish from, where like I know back in the day I traveled a bunch, so I've fished a lot of places, and being able to like kind of go back and go, oh, we're going to take a trip now to Metro Minnesota, or we're going to go to Vermilion or Western Minnesota, or even back to St. Clair, things like that. I have what we did, and just the extra stuff that's associated with the trip or the fish catch or whatever it may be, and it I know my mind works. I can remember pretty much every muskie that's ever been in my boat and what it was caught on and, structure type and stuff. But like the extras to the day that might be more the important parts is the extra notes that you can go
Weather.
back. Yeah, like
Weather and time
the
of year,
weather and all of a sudden, oh,
moon
now all the
weather.
big ones
Yeah.
showed up on this type of structure, this spot related to whatever. And of course we're a little blessed because we get to fish more often than most people, but I think that only exponentially influences the people that fish less to make better notes and kind of keep track because it does add up and it certainly helps you at least in a pointed direction
Hmm.
make decisions and make decisions more confidently.
Absolutely. Because I
About
learned a
it.
lot even too from people that you or I knew that only fished either select a lake or a select few lakes and basically know when they're crushing and when they're not. And you can take note of that too. You don't even have to go out and fish to get notes on a lake if you just talk to the right people or you buy somebody a drink at the bar. So, um,
Sure.
but yeah, there's a lot to it. I found just dialing in the weather with the lakes. I think that's something that's because like I've been telling Max this whole season. He's like, he's asked me, he's like, why are there so many big fish showing up? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm doing the same things. All I'm doing is it feels like I'm making good lake choices on the right day because I swear we're throwing just about the same thing, just about the same spots, maybe finding a few new spots on lakes I know pretty well here and there. Um, but man, I don't know. It's boiling down to the weather and lake choices where like the other week, I think for example, there's 3 days in a row we had three complete different weather changes. One was a ramp up to storms overnight. The next day was a giant cold snap, high of like 59 and raining, and then the following day was almost bluebird and east winds. And I fished three different lakes each of those 3 days, and we crushed it each time. Because literally, I looked back at my notes from previous years, and I'm like, we did well on this weather type of day on this lake. We did well on that one. That one's good when it's gloomy, and then I just did that, and it worked out. Very well could have not, and we could have gone 3-4 hours in one of those lakes, and it sucked, and had to make a change. But I don't know. That's kind of where my mind's at for that.
Imagine if we would have missed that segment. That was a lot
That
of value. We could have just completely skipped that one, but
Just
I mean,
providing value,
yeah,
Austin. I
I
just
mean,
love
A
that. I
plus
love that
on
out of
that,
you.
Tucker, number one. That was great.
Oh shit, that was Tucker. Yeah, that was
I
Tucker.
mean, I'll take the credit by
I
all
didn't even
means, but it was
contribute to
definitely
it.
not me. Yeah.
Fuck. Sorry. All right. What about you, Minnesota boys? How you guys making lake choices?
So I can kind of start this one. It's with having a day job, I don't get to do it as much as Gus and Austin do. So it's more of a time of year thing on when I plan my trips. So it's like, oh, okay. So I've done well up around like the open water time frame. I don't think it really matters on the weather as much. I think they're out deep and doesn't really matter. So it's just kind of fishing lakes on the same like time frames that they've been biting on. Like some lakes are better in the morning during the open water time frame, and some lakes are better in the afternoon and evening. Evening's always good no matter what it seems like. But there are some lakes that are really dead in the morning during the open water time frame, it seems like. And then it kind of goes into after that down in the metro, I really only fish Tonka because it's 72 lakes in one. You can always figure out something out there, it seems like.
Mhm.
So I don't really have the luxury of having that many lakes at our disposal as you guys do to go out for a quick after work thing. It is convenient that Tonka is the closest to my house as well, but and then it goes like into the summer stuff, like the Bemidji area. I used to like it a lot more. One specific lake, the first week of July, it seems like a lot of fish would push on the structure and it's just kind of moved. So you kind of got to just make adjustments like that. It's been moved further back into July on when that happens. And then, like, for example, Vermilion is one that how we like to catch them, big rubber baits. Like, it's just cool being able to say you caught them on a monster Medusa or an ultra dog and whatever else. And it seems like Vermilion is those fish still like that stuff. Not a lot of places in Minnesota like that huge giant rubber, it seems like in the fall, or you don't have a good chance of catching them. But vermilion, that's just something that they actually still like. So it's kind of more making decisions throughout the year on when you plan your trips than anything. In Canada, July or August, I'll be fine on.
Yeah.
Would love to be on Lake of the Woods, July or August.
Yeah.
September, anywhere in Minnesota, fantastic. Doesn't matter.
With I got a quick question on the. Obviously, you don't have to give really any details of the lake at all, but the one you said that usually they push on a structure in early July and it's set back. Do you think that was op like related to what goes on in the open water bite? Like if there's a prolonged bug hatch, if it's the water temperatures take too long to heat up, if it was just this year type of thing, or
It's now been happening
pressure?
for a few years, because we ended up striking out like pretty bad 2 trips in a row where my buddy and I used to go up there for 5 days or something, right around the fourth every time. And I think that is one that zebra mussels got it real good. So it got super
Ooh,
clear. So I think that's why that one
okay.
ended up pushing back. We've had a lot of lakes in our state end up doing that.
Takes
Get
longer to heat
super
up.
clear, and it changes everything really. How the
Interesting.
season
Yeah.
progresses.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll see that sometimes here. I mean, like I was kind of talking with Max, back in July, there was not the Eagle River chain obviously fired off in the PMTT. I mean, there's freaking like 85 fish caught or whatever between Eagle River and Three Lakes chain, which I think pretty sure majority of them were on Eagle River chain, and I didn't really like know where that bite was, and it just didn't really. Usually, it's about July 4th. It just kind of goes nuts, and you get chance at big fish on structure right away, kinda with blades usually. But that didn't really happen, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, actually like late July, it just like set on fire. But it's I don't know. It can be pretty random. I don't know why that was set back. I think, well, I kind of know why. Last year we had no bug hatch, so we had like a really good structure push of a ton of fish last year, almost all of like mid to late June and start of July when we got the good temps and max weed growth. This time we had like a really good bug hatch that went later, and then once it stopped, it took a minute for our weeds to grow because we had cleaner water or clearer water, and then out of nowhere it got dirty. We have maximum weed growth, and now the fish are biting. So, um, that's kind of like the progression of what happened out there. What about you, Jake? You got anything to add with
I'm
the
gonna
lake
be
selection?
fairly similar to Tucker. I'm absolutely horrible about fishing memories and going back in my camera roll and seeing that we caught one on this lake on this day and oh, let's go back there and see if we can repeat that kind of thing. Um, but then, as far as during the week stuff, it's going to be Tonka strictly just based off of where I live. But I'm also probably not the best about going to lakes that I know are going to be good, and I'll go try an adventure sometimes. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to do. It's kind of like it's fun and scary at the same time doing those new adventures. It's all just like a mystery. I mean, I think that's what makes it great, but
But
I
those can be the most fun days of the year.
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's so I mean, majority of the good lakes, good bites that we've found are from just literally spitballing and going with no fear to just go and fish. And
Yeah.
then there's some lakes where we go and do that and it sucks. And then we're like, we should go try that again, but like 2 months later or 2 months earlier. And then it's fire. And then that's how you find
Mm-hmm.
the new other thing or why that lake's good
Or
then.
even something as simple as they're not going on this lake, you fished it for 6 hours and you got this much time. Let's go try this one real quick and things happen. It's like, they
I
were
think
going
I want to.
here, but
I think
Okay.
I want to even add that to like I know that down south where I fish, I have two options essentially to fish. Well, you have more, but really what I like to fish is the Fox Chain or Lake Geneva.
Mhm.
One wildly different scenarios, but like on a system itself, the adventuring in curveball or doing something dramatically different than anybody would theoretically think to do or like you've done in your past. Like instead of having to hop lakes to accomplish the adventuring or looking for something of newness and searching for a crazy cool bite, you can literally do it within one system
Sure.
and try crazy different baits on a certain time of year that you wouldn't normally use them and things like that. Where I know that's basically how, like down south when we would get crazy harsh cold fronts in the middle of summer, then the surface temp would drop 7 degrees and you'd figure, oh, these giant fish are going to be great on structure. No, they just rose really high in the water column over the basin, and we were just catching them on blades and top water and super like fast moving but super shallow moving or shallow running baits that in theory you wouldn't normally be throwing in the middle of summer over the basin. You'd want to be counting, rubber down or whatever deep
Right.
dive crankbaits and jerkbaits. So that is all I wanted to add to that because I totally agree. The searching for new things is how you one learn a ton and
Yeah.
two you can definitely stumble upon things that most people either never will or that you get onto the craziest bite and fish that are unpressured and uncaught and it's the exciting part of the sport for sure.
It is
No.
exciting. Yeah, and it's something that you and I, Austin, are put to the test each and every day because there's certain days out there that might not be very good weather, and you kind of just have to pull something out of your hat.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if you have, like you said, only two options of lakes to fish, or if you have options and you've already tried three different lakes in a given day and it still stinks, you just got to find like that one dumb fish. Because as they say, even in the worst conditions during the tournament, somebody's catching one somewhere.
Yeah, Greg Thomas nails that concept.
Yeah.
There's a fish biting somewhere, you just got to find it.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that just keeps you in a good headspace too. Like
Yeah, I was just
if you
gonna say
just
you
give
have to
up and you
have that
don't,
mentality sometimes
uh-huh.
musky fishing.
I mean, otherwise, like this is definitely not the sport for you.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm definitely the guide for you because I'll keep you busy with rock bass and largemouths and small. Like we will be catching, don't you worry. It just might not be the species we're targeting.
Oh my God. That's good stuff. You want to do another on the line, Max? You got um some more questions to go off what we've discussed here tonight? Trying to think of what
I don't
time
know
we're
how much. Yeah, I don't know what we're running at for time. I
like
know
a
we've done
hour
good.
10.
Hour 10. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I think we can probably wrap it up with a few finals and see where that goes. I guess as far as temps getting super hot in the metro here, it looks like for the next week. Are you guys Tucker and Jake on ice then, or do you guys have some trips planned to get out of this hot water that I think we're going to be seeing here in the next, like, I think 3 days, I think it's supposed to hit.
Yep. So Jake and I actually both are going to be up at we got a buddy in Nevis just south of Bemidji this weekend that we do like a friends thing that everybody it's not fishing at all, but full moon's on Saturday, so we'll end up fishing up around Bemidji probably Sunday. And then the next weekend we end up crossing the border into Canada. So I'll bring my boat up, just leave it in Nevis for the week this week. And then so it just takes half the time off the trailer driving for next weekend to go to Lake of the Woods.
Yep.
And Jake will be there for that one too.
Yep. Very excited for that.
Yeah, it's a big buddies trip that we always have. It doesn't matter how many fish we catch, we always have a good time.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Good.
Those are the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Cool. What about you, Jake?
I'm gonna be pretty much the exact same. I mean, maybe if we can get a cool morning sometime next week or something before we head up to Canada, we might go out on Tonka a night or a morning or something. But it's gonna be pretty slow. I'm guessing the next muskie I catch will be in Canada.
Just for the people that are listening to this from the cities or metro area, have you guys heard anything just at the shop with what current temps are and
So
uh
last night we were both out. I think it was 76. I saw between 76 and 76.9.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Stokes today on my way home from work. I think, do you guys know Jordan Stokes?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
beauty,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I
beauty.
talked to Stokes on my way home from work, and he was out today, and it sounds like it was 75 pretty much everywhere in like the main lake-ish areas, not the back bay stuff. So I don't know what the back bay stuff is right now, but I know the main lake is like 75, 76, and but I think it's the whole water column is 75. It's not June 75, 76 right now. It's August, so it'll
Yeah.
happen quick for
I'm sitting here realizing that this pod's gonna drop on Thursday when it's the day that it gets to a high of 87 and then Friday gets to 92 here in
yeah,
Minneapolis.
she'll
So
be done.
this is gonna be a moot point by then, but
She'll be done.
hopefully you guys that are listening to this were able to maybe get out either tonight, Tuesday that we're recording, or I think Wednesday, tomorrow looks like it should be fine too with clouds and rain coming in. So
Yeah, I think all three of us will be out tomorrow, Max.
yeah, we will be. Maybe we'll see each other. I don't know where we're going yet, so
We'll drive by and get you a pop.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm pretty fired up. I think this weekend I'm driving way north to Vermilion, so I think we should be able to escape the hot water temps heading that far north. I think it gets to like a high 83 maybe on Friday, but
Yeah,
I
you'll
would
be
assume
there.
Vermilion. I can't imagine. Does that lake ever really get
Not
super
really.
hot?
There's been a couple years, but it doesn't sound like it's hardly ever an issue. Austin, you worked up there, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked up there. That was a while back, but I've been going to it forever. I've seen it at 80 only once, and that was
Yeah.
August of 2019 or 18 maybe. But yeah, usually that lake is plenty good. But it's been great to see like kind of the social vibe of and a lot of people catching recently. So that is a phenomenal thing for me because that's literally my kind of biased favorite lake for muskies.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Gus knows I've been itching to get back there literally since we went there for the PMTT, and lucky enough, my buddy Kyle Friege is giving me the nod to tag along with him this weekend
Oh,
for
Kyle.
a
Oof.
big 24-hour rodeo up there
Hell
on
yeah.
Vermilion. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'll be jealous as can be. I'll probably be back down in Illinois by then. Or when are you leaving?
Yeah, bullshit. We're leaving Saturday morning, and I think we're coming home Sunday morning.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah, you gotta try. That'll be fun though. I love that type of stuff. But the way
Yeah,
home always is terrible.
yeah.
it
Oh, this
sucks.
one for sure. I think we're leaving very early Saturday morning, arguably even Friday night for most people. And then
Yeah, that's
I
probably a
think
good idea.
we'll be back Sunday afternoon. So no, it'll be fun. Yeah, I'll be back up in Eagle River in 2 weeks, and you're gonna be gone, Austin, which I'm very sad about. I was hoping
Then
you'd be
I'll
able to
be
stick
heading to
around.
Minnesota then.
I was
I
gonna
know
say,
we're gonna
what's
be
the
two
time
ships
frame?
passing in the night.
Yeah, I'm really good at just running around and missing everybody, it seems like.
Yeah,
So
you and I
I'm
have been
glad
trying
that
to get in the boat for
I'm
2
glad this
years.
worked.
yeah. I mean
Where are you gonna
clearly
be in Minnesota,
I didn't
Austin?
get to connect with Brian again tonight, which is just odd, you know. He never misses podcasts with me, so
Jeez.
Yeah, where are you heading to Minnesota, Austin?
so let's see. I'm gonna head back from here around to Illinois.
Friday?
So what up? Like around the 17th, I think. I got my birthday coming up on the 14th. The old 30. Geez, it's getting scary.
That's a big
Um,
one, man.
yeah,
That's
it's
when you
getting
really
real.
start questioning things.
Yeah, everybody's like, "What do you do for a living?" And I'm just like, "I fish."
Trails off.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, where are you living at?" Well, I kind of Illinois, and then sometimes in Wisconsin, and then wherever I can sleep and put my head in Minnesota. It's like really good.
So when are you leaving? When are you leaving Wisconsin?
I'll leave like probably Saturday, Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there. and then I'll go to Minnesota on the 18th morning.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe extend your stay, and we'll see you on
I
Thursday.
cannot. I have like
Sounds good.
I have to get my driver's license renewed that week. I got to get my windshield replaced. It's got a crack. There's like a lot. I have so much to-do list before my birthday. I'm so excited.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this is 30.
Yeah, yeah. So far loving it, and I'm not even there yet. It's a good time. Cheers,
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, man, fun chat, fellas. I think we can put a bow on this one. We've been told our podcasts are too long, so we've been trying to keep it tight. We've been trying to run a tight ship around these parts lately. So what do we get? An hour and a half tonight, Gus? I think that's the money time
Around
frame.
that, yeah. I think I mean it's good for a lot of our sakes. I mean, honestly, we're all kind of busy in the summer too, and
People know that you can just like pause a podcast and listen to it later, right?
Nope,
think
that's
so.
illegal apparently. You just gotta once
yeah.
you start it, you're like legally obligated to finish the podcast no matter what else you have to do during that day,
I
according to
didn't
some
realize
people.
that.
Yeah,
Huh.
no, I mean you got a whole 6 days and 23 hours and 59 minutes until the next one comes out.
I will
listen
say
to it,
then
but
if it does get too long, you don't know where the juice, is where the little takeaway
Yeah.
points. You really do have to listen to it. Also, all
we
right,
just
yeah,
got
shorten them up.
if you've listened to some of our long ones all to the end, all of a sudden Brian just starts talking about giveaways that we've never discussed before,
yeah,
saying that we're
was
gonna
like
do a
pot ago.
giveaway, and we're just like, we don't have anything to give away, man.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
And it's not even going to be him that gives it away. He's bringing up the idea, and it's from what inventory, Brian? Golly.
All right, Jake and Tucker, let's start talking about golf quick. So we had another 20 minutes of this. You guys been golfing lately?
Let's go.
Yeah, apparently Tucker's a stick. All of a sudden, we're talking
really?
when him and I didn't know this at all. I mean, you talk about a plethora of topics on the musky boat, and yeah, we're just all of a sudden chatting. And I realized Tucker's just a golf nut like we are. So I was just
Hell
like, holy
yeah.
shit, let's fucking ride, man.
It was my musky fishing before I got a boat. I was just as obsessed with that.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I love that sport. That's a good one. That is a good one.
So did
Actually,
you see Happy Gilmore too, Tucker and Jake?
oh yeah, let's add
Yeah.
this in at the end, huh? No, I did. Actually, I really didn't want to tell this story, but since you brought it back
You
up,
got it.
you know how you were talking about how you were at the bar and you couldn't talk about fishing for 3 hours,
Correct.
because the social. Well, I actually watched Happy Gilmore 2 at a lady's house, and it was
Ooh,
the
here we go.
night before I
we go.
finished the last YouTube video I put out. And I was trying to talk to her about the intro to the fishing video, and she was really not into it. So I was like, all right, screw that. Let's just put on a movie. And then we watched that. And then I was like even worse of a golf, everything we did then I was just non-existent. So I was totally socially not attached. But anyway, I thought the first half was amazing. I laughed a ton. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. It was, but it wasn't. But no, Happy Gilmore 2 I thought it was hilarious, and then the second half was just, I wasn't in it for one reason or another.
I was gonna say,
Entertaining enough.
But
to
yeah,
watch.
for Brian's take on Happy Gilmore 1 though, I'm gonna give that a D plus rating, that he just didn't like it. Trash. I mean, that was literally still is one of my all-time favorite movies. Could watch it tonight and literally love every second of it. So I don't know about that, but yeah, Gilmore 2, I don't know that I would, like, if somebody put it on, I'd watch it again, but I don't think I would go out of my way to watch it by myself again.
what about you guys that have seen it?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's kind of like how I see it. Adam Sandler's just doing bucket list things. He's just inviting his friends to do movies, kind of like he's always done. But you can tell he just went and had a good time on it, and you can't blame him for it.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
They just had a good time. They got some awesome professional golfers in it. They had some great one-liners. you can't top Happy Gilmore 1 25 years later or whatever it was.
Right.
We didn't
Yeah,
try.
I don't think it did the first one like a disservice or anything. It
No,
was
I agree
no.
there.
no.
As long as you don't ruin the
Slapstick.
first one,
Like
it's a
it honored it.
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty much.
exactly. It did.
Definitely.
well, yeah, Gus ranked it an 8.5 out of 10, which
I
was
And then and I also said would not watch again.
yeah. There's so many mixed
You're like-
feelings coming from that whole conversation.
Nothing was
That's a
just
great
nothing
way
was
to put it.
flowing. The beginning of that pod, nothing was flowing.
have you guys seen any new like cool YouTube content come out in the fishing world? I mean, outside of the stuff Tucker's been
I mean, I watched
doing?
Tucker's like 3 or 4 times. So I want to say the Thorne video. One, because
Yeah, that was
I
good.
really I mend with the losing fish thing, and it just makes me happier to watch other people lose some every once in a while. But then
Yeah.
then the figure 80 was just phenomenal, and then
Oh yeah.
him
So
giving
good.
himself shit about I'm gonna watch that film and know exactly what I did wrong, and I'm like, yeah, I feel you there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I watch everything on YouTube that has a muskie in it for at least a few minutes to try to get
Yeah.
something out of it. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Kyle Free just does some good stuff. I thought that was a very good
For sure.
Yourself?
take.
Had a-
I do not.
Come on, fish
I
with teeth.
speak Spanish in front of the camera.
Fish with teeth
and
outdoors.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would
your
love
video
to
is
put-
great, Austin.
The last one, I'll give myself a little bit of a pat on the back and say that I felt good about it. But like back to filming and fishing scenario, like we would never have the full footage scenario, like going, like talking about what the heck we're doing. We just had like raw catching a fish and us saying swear words and like, so trying to figure out the way to put it into a video is just impossible. But I would love to one of these days just put up everything that we have somewhere that people didn't care, like a select audience or something. I'm not quite sure because we have some awesome footage from over the years, but I can use about 1.5% probably.
Friends and family only.
Yeah, actually, there's gonna be I'm working on, which we'll finish after I work the VDL Larry Ramsell outing this year, a Vermilion kind of starting like how I got into musky fishing and how our little group got into
Damn.
musky fishing, like full picture.
Let's
Uh,
go. That'll
it's
be
gonna be
sick.
I think it's gonna be really good because I
Long
came up with the
format?
idea before. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm like stoked for it actually, but it's also only because we found this one garage video prior to the trip of all 4 of us, like super young kids sitting there goofing off, and I literally call the exact numbers to the trip to a T. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna catch 6 over 40, 1 over 50, and that was the trip that we were under tackle. We didn't have the right tackle or rods, and we just got handed giant lures and went in the basin and caught them for 2.5 days, knowing literally nothing. But I called the numbers like sitting in the garage in Illinois to a T, and I'm like, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, that
Nice.
trip literally started everything, and that lake is special, so I'm pretty stoked about getting back up there for the Rams.
Dude, that'll be awesome. I'm a psycho. I'm in the mindset that the more videos the better because I just love watching
Yeah.
them. So
always.
For
um,
sure.
yeah. What about you guys, Tucker, Jake? You guys watch anything lately that's piqued your interest?
First off, I've been to the VDL outing like 3 of the past 4 years, and now I'm sad I'm gonna miss it this year. I wish I was
Austin just
Come
missing
on.
people all the time.
Like I said, dude, I'm just dodging. Like literally anybody I meet, I'm just like, yeah, you're doing. Oh yeah, I'm just heading out. I'm sorry, can't
Yeah,
do you.
it's been like Ben and I working because Thorne sets up a booth up there during that.
Yeah.
We set up the booth, and then when everybody's fishing, we end up getting to go fish too.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm not gonna get to be up there to hear all that.
So but Thorne's still setting the booth up. You're just not going.
Yep,
Oh, well.
yep.
All
From
right.
the sounds of it, I haven't heard for sure from Ben on who's going, but
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I think I'm gonna try to do it every year from here on out again.
okay.
Like that was that
What's the
event was
weekend of
awesome
that?
when I was working up there. October, I think it's 2nd through 5th is the
Yeah,
event.
first
Of
weekend in
October. Yeah. It's a phenomenal event. I've only been there for the 2017 one, and I think that was the year that beavers got really popular. At least with the guys on Vermilion, and I know I remember buying my first 2, and literally I was I was working for VDL, but I did like a guide trip with 2 kids, and then I had their parents as a follow boat. And I remember moving 2 fish off either side of this weed point, and one was like 52, 53, and the other was like, I called it 57. And then I went and told Luke, and he's like, oh, yeah, that was 56.5. We caught it on a beaver in August. And I was like, all right, well, well, at least my guess was fucking cool.
And he'll
Yeah,
say
that
it
fish
in a
just-
way. He'll say it where you know he's not trying to be a dick, but he sounds like such a fucking dick.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
edit right there, Gus.
Yeah.
But
Want
our
me to add
last,
that?
He's really good at that.
our
No,
last.
that's so true. He doesn't know how to say it to you because you're such a normal musky fisherman that
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it was 56.5. We definitely caught that one in August on a beaver right there too. And I'm just like, oh yeah, yeah, it definitely was that big because I was
If
shaking
you-
for the next week.
If you ever want to be humbled, fish Lake Vermilion the same day Luke does, and then compare notes.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you go to try to do what he did from the day prior, the next day, it doesn't work at all. And then he'll really humble you again by saying that he figured out something completely different. Yeah, that happened to me for the entire fall I worked there. It was really fun.
You're like, oh, Luke, I was fishing around Wake 'em Up when you were talking about it. He's like, oh, I was in Big Bay today. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. That was so yesterday.
Yeah, like how did you not tell that like the conditions changed enough from yesterday to today that everybody in Big Bay was gonna go? Yeah. Everything that he's ever told me to try never worked for me. So I don't know if it's another dodging situation or whatever, but like I even told him a few things that I like was finding, and he's like, oh yeah, I went and caught one of those, and I was just like, oh, that's cool, like because everything you tell me, it just doesn't work for me. So there's something that I haven't leveled up to, or I don't know, but I appreciate it. It's exciting, but it doesn't do me any good. Yeah, he's just unbelievable wealth of knowledge. I still have yet to ever fish with him in the boats, so that's another reason why I watched that YouTube video so many times and all those. Because
I haven't really either, but I've been able to be in the boat filming, and there's still not a person. I've learned the most from him of anybody in musky fishing. I've learned the most from Luke.
Yeah,
I just think that it's hilarious that his boat is always a show.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and the dog jumping
in the water.
So on brand. Yeah.
And for people that haven't fished with him, it's worse than what you can see.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Way worse.
I have a quick Luke story that I have to tell, and I know this went like an extra 20 minutes. Of course, I might have started that because of the golf thing, but I think it was the Swedish invasion, or there was something going on in 2017 when I was working there, and it was like he went through like 3 or 4 motors and 2 boats, and he's using like Bob Benson's extra boat, and he launches the boat in like Head of Lakes, right? And he's driving on plane, and the lower unit falls off. Okay, so him, like that stuff just happens to him all the time. And like Bob had just got the motor worked on, and the lower unit, they must not have just like put the bolts in it or whatever, right? So like the whole lower unit's gone. And now Luke's like, well, I have these guys, like I'm kind of by the area where I'll be, like I'll just use the kicker motor. And he outfished everybody that day. They caught like a 51 and like a 4, and they just had a kicker motor to just beat around, and then they had to like hire this like freaking diver to go get the and I'm just like, that's just so you. Like everybody had full rate, and you lost an entire lower unit, used a kicker, and outfished everybody. I'm just like, my God.
Yep.
Unreal.
Yeah. That's the fun. That's that area and that whole group and just those stories. That's the fun stuff that just cracks me up.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure. Luke's incredible at thinking about only one thing and only letting one thing affect him, and that's how.
Yeah, everybody always
He doesn't-
says that, and it's so true.
He
Nothing
can
else
block
doesn't.
everything else out in the world. Trolling motor doesn't work, we'll drift. There's no wind, doesn't matter.
Oh, the lower unit's gone. No worry, we'll just get there in 27 minutes to the spot that's right across over there. You can see, and then we'll catch them when we get there. It's no big deal. Yeah, it's downright impressive. Honestly, it's
It is.
yeah, makes me feel very just not adequate enough. I do this for a living too, Luke. All right, take it easy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's good. We're all human.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
for him.
Except for
Yeah,
Luke.
yeah.
People just still don't
He's
know
a
what
fish,
to
I
do.
think. Yeah, he's a fish. Yeah. He transitioned to a fish.
Oh yeah. That's hilarious. Well, I think we might put a true bow on this after our little tip. Yeah, it's a typical little sidetrack of the podcast. You get to the end and you're like, I think we're done. You get on one little side note and then boom, we're talking about who knows what.
That stuff is just
Something
too
about
fun.
a Spanish something I can't remember, but either way, a more vocabulary than Brian ever has. So the only thing we are going to miss though on this outro is Brian on the outro. I don't know if anybody has their best impression of a Brian outro where they spitball about the entire pod wrap up in 30 seconds at the speed of light. But while we think on that, if anybody wants to do that, Jake Tucker,
No.
if you want to plug anything, like anything coming up brand new with Thorne Bros, or how they can get in touch with you guys, where the shop's located for people who don't know, fish electronics stuff, the number, whatever, drop it right
So
here.
follow Thorne Brothers on social media. It's all just Thorne Bros for Instagram and Facebook. And then one fun thing that we just got in the shop is the junior hookers from Zilla. That'll apply to a lot of musky guys, especially come fall. Some of the swim bait stuff really starts kicking on in Minnesota, it seems like. And then I'll have Jake pass over to Fish Electronics here.
Yeah, if you just go onto the Thorne Brothers website, you can find our phone number, email address, everything underneath Fish Electronics tab. And email and giving us a call is definitely the best way to get a hold of us. But we're always happy to help out and see what we can do for you guys.
You can message them on social media too. I'll respond.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Then he'll text me.
There you go. Well, appreciate you guys coming on here and sharing your time and joining up here so that we only had, one one profile to go through. We had a little technical difficulties with myself, but it all worked out.
We
Max
weren't
got
ready
something.
then anyways.
Yeah.
This comes out Thursday, Austin, but do you have any guide days left in the Northwoods of Wisconsin?
No. And not unless for some reason, no, I don't. I don't think.
Okay.
Unless
Are you
somebody
and
like
Gus gonna get out?
I
You
mean,
and
I
Gus?
really wanted to try to do another stretch of guiding up here because I would like to transition a lot of my summer stuff to here. But I mean, for the rest of this year, I'm pretty packed from those whatever date I said I was going to Minnesota and that through the first week of September. I'll be out there, which I still do have open dates for there, which is Detroit Lakes area,
Nice.
Bemidji. We could do Leech too. Like I said, I'm pretty flexible on finding places to stay. So that and then all fall I'll be back down south other than south on Geneva other than the VDL outing. So
Sweet. You and Gus gonna get out and fish it all together?
probably not. I'll probably just not be able to find a time that works together.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Maybe the next day. You never know.
We'll see. We'll just see how much sleep we want, if any. So
Night's still
we're
young.
actually heading out right after this pod.
I was gonna say, go fish the chain. Night's still young. You got a 16-footer sitting down on the water right now.
Oh, that's my
yeah.
favorite size. I've caught so many fish out of a 16-footer.
Good stuff,
You got a
gentlemen.
boat in the
Well,
water and you didn't tell me? We should be fishing right now, doing the pod on the freaking lake.
I know, right? Little
I'm not
mobile
adding. I
pod.
can't add any more time to this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You go ahead. Wrap this up. I don't want to be accredited for making it too long. That's not my deal.
no, we're totally
Oh my
just
God.
kidding. No. Well, we can't thank Jake and Tucker enough for coming on here. Austin, you did a fantastic 10 out of 10 job subbing in for Brian as a co-host here this
Round of
evening.
applause.
But yeah, really fun time, gentlemen. I think with that, I'm gonna hit the hay, and we'll report back next week on how all the adventures shook out.
Hell yeah. Well, appreciate it, guys. Be sure to follow Muskies on Tap on Facebook, Instagram as well. Suggs Fishing Guide Service as well. And with that, we'll be back with another pod next week. Good luck fishing, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.